Man. Yeah. You know what it is. 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 You know what I'm talking about? Let me wipe this off. Is it clean now? Yeah, it's about clean. What's going on with y'all though, man? Snax on Sports. I'm tapped back the fuck on in. This one finna be a fun one. You know what I mean? At least for me, it is. For you LeBron, little bitch lovers, it ain't gonna be so fun. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? For you Bron sexuals, yeah, man, this is finna get real ugly for y'all. So, yeah, man, Snacks on Sports, back with another one. And yeah, man, we finna get into it. This it's a hot topic. You know what I'm saying? Been one of the ones I've been wanting to get into for a little minute now. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of them things, man. It's just one of them things. I might need to go get another little light real quick, but I might not. I think that's cool for right now. But y'all niggas know we didn't have the all 75 list. You know what I mean? That slid through. Okay, All-Star weekend was this weekend. You know what I mean? And it's the 75th year of the NBA. So they did the top 75 players in NBA history and all that. And y'all know with the 75 list and players list and all that, y'all know with all that come rankings and all type of topics and people's all-time lists and where they got certain players ranked at and all that other shit. So um so it's one of them things to where it's time to get into some Kobe, Jordan, LeBron debate shit. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get into that, man, because you know, we finna get into this because of some comments that LeBron made, over the weekend. I mean, when getting interviewed before the NBA All-Star game. Basically, this man came out and said he the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He the GOAT. He the greatest of all time. And as a rapper, you know what I mean? Coming from the era, coming from, the field of entertainment that I come from, that's admirable. You know what I mean? That's one thing that we do, you know what I mean, as MCs and as rappers, you know what I mean? A lot of us, not all, but you know what I mean? We boast and brag and we think we the best and nobody can't fuck with us. Our crew is better than yours and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's in a hip hop sense. Um, and I heard somebody use the example of Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? But Muhammad Ali, that's a one-on-one sport kind of combat. That's a one-on-one combat. You know what I mean? There ain't no teammates, ain't you know what I mean? Ain't nobody. It's just you and your opponent. You know what I'm saying? So, and Muhammad Ali kind of more or less used it. I mean, I'm sure he believed that, and he I know he believed that, and he felt that in his heart. But it was kind of more as a as a playful, not playful, but like he was saying that, and I heard somebody say earlier, he was saying that during the time before he even won a major fight or before he beat Sonny Liston or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he was like Muhammad Ali. It was more of a marketing and promotion kind of thing too, like or a shtick, as they would say, like a knack, like something that that he was doing to draw attention to himself, and he was serious, but it was in a playful, funny way. You know what I'm saying? To where LeBron coming out saying he the GOAT, he dead serious. He dead serious, and ain't nothing wrong with him feeling that way, but in the realm of professional sports, man, you wanna have a little more humility and a little more modestness about yourself. You know what I mean? And like Chris Broussard said earlier, I heard him say earlier, he kind of really showed his insecurity with this because I don't believe that there's ever been another player in NBA history the caliber of LeBron James to come out and say, "Yeah, I'm the greatest of all time," and then say what not incident, to say what moment, what he can tell you the defining moment that made him the GOAT, which is when he beat the 2016 Warriors. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to tell you, brother, that ain't make you the GOAT, dog. I'm finna break it all down for you niggas right now. I mean, this shit can go so many ways. And the main thing, my opinion on this whole, you know, Jordan LeBron thing, and Jordan Kobe LeBron. This is my thing with it, and this is my opinion, and this is how I feel. And a lot of people would probably agree with me, except for Bron sexuals, and that is the Michael Jordan the Michael Jordan LeBron James quote unquote debate. It should not be a debate. There's nothing to debate. There's nothing. There's nothing there. Michael Jordan stands on an island, on a planet, on a mountain, somewhere far, far away, all by himself. Ain't nobody touching that man. And I want to say this, that, and I've said this in a few videos in the past, that in talking about similar subjects, and Michael Jordan was not my favorite player growing up. He was my favorite player, but he wasn't. And I'll explain that by saying that everybody liked Michael Jordan, bro. Like, I don't know one of the homies that we grew up playing basketball and playing, organized sports, to where we didn't fuck with Michael Jordan. Everybody fucked with Michael Jordan because he was Michael Jordan. It's like it went without saying. So, with that being said, you know, a lot of the homies I grew up with and grew up playing basketball with and on the same teams with, you know what I mean? We had other players as our favorite players. Because like I said, everybody liked Jordan. So, I was, BJ Armstrong and Reggie Miller and, and then later on, Allen Iverson and all that. Like, Jordan was a favorite player by default, but it's like he was so great, like nobody did not fuck with him. So that's what I mean by saying, I'm saying this by saying, like I already knew what Jordan was growing up watching him. So it's like, I'm just saying that to say that he wasn't like my favorite player growing up. So this is not me saying everything that I'm about to say, and everything that I am saying is not coming from somebody that's like this huge Jordan fanatic. I am a Jordan fan, you know what I'm saying, but I was never like more of a Jordan fan than I was a Kobe fan. You know what I mean? And I realized that Jordan's better than Kobe. I wasn't a Jordan fan more than I'm a Steph fan. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Or Allen Iverson fan. And it's a few more players that I could say, but I recognize that Jordan is the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan. It's not even close. Um, and to me, so there's no Jordan LeBron debate for me. The real debate is, and the real debate should be LeBron versus Kobe. That's a debate that I'm willing to entertain. I'm willing to have with somebody because you know I can see the argument for LeBron. I'm a Kobe guy, so I'm gonna take Kobe, but I can see the argument for LeBron. But those are the two players that are kind of more or less, kind of around that same level. Give or take. If you want to say this person, LeBron was better at that, or LeBron was worse at this, or Kobe was worse at that. Like I mean, it's kind of like nitpicking, but that's the debate to have. You know what I mean? I won't argue. Somebody that wants to pick LeBron over Kobe, not meaning. Yeah, I'll argue with you about it. I got my points. And all my my pointers and and all that shit about why I think I can list all the reasons why I think that Kobe is better than LeBron. But like I said, I'm not going to beat myself up over somebody saying that, oh, they would take LeBron over Kobe. Okay, cool. That's what you would do. But the LeBron Jordan thing, like, that's not even, it's like, to me, in my opinion, you got other, you still haven't, like, when did he pass Magic? When did he pass Kobe? When did he pass Kareem? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm speaking about LeBron. When did he pass those players? He just jumped all the way just straight to Jordan. So, but that's my thing. Ain't no debate when it comes to Jordan and LeBron, because Jordan is he's all on the universe by himself, bro. The real debate is, like I said, it's Kobe versus LeBron. That's the debate we can have. And so let me pull this up, man. Let me pull this up. What this bum ass nigga said earlier. Since he think he the GOAT. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I'm gonna be pulling up a few clips from different different little outlets and shows and shit that I've been watching today. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to my library, go to my history. And the thing about it is, I'm glad that LeBron said this, because he gave me some, gave me some content, man. But you ain't the GOAT, boy. He wanted to, I give him, he wanted to, one of the greatest players of all time. But he ain't better than no damn Michael Jordan. Okay. So let's see here where I'm at. Where I'm at. While I'm pulling this up, you know what I'm saying? Um, I'm just it's a good topic. You know what I'm saying? It's entertaining to talk about. It's it get everybody riled up, you know, and all those types of things, man. My bad. I should have already had all this shit queued up, but It is what it is, man. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Basically, LeBron James did uh, a interview this weekend with Kenny Smith. And Kenny Smith is somebody that previously said he barely even had LeBron James in his damn top 10. You know what I'm talking about? But he did an interview over the weekend, All-Star weekend, with Kenny Smith, to where he basically reiterated what he said a few years ago when he said that the 2016 finals, in the fashion that the Cleveland Cavaliers came back and won that series, once he won that series and beat the 73-9 Warriors, that made him the greatest player of all time. That was his third ring. Number 3, Jordan got 6. Okay. Now, mind you, not only do Jordan got 6, he got 2 3-peats. 2 3-peats. There has only been 3 3-peats in the history of basketball, in the history of the NBA. There's only been 3. Jordan got 2 of them. That's one little nugget for you niggas. Okay? 6 rings, 2 3-peats. There's only been 3 3-peats in the history of the league. Jordan got 2 of them. So if you want to talk about the fashion in which somebody won some shit, talk about a nigga winning 3 championships, basically going to go play a whole nother sport for a year and a half, 2 years, coming back and winning 3 more championships in a row. Y'all really is not understanding how crazy that shit is. Like, you really not. You niggas don't understand how motherfucking bonkers of a motherfucking basketball player you got to be to do some shit like that. Okay? So, here we go. Right here. Names. Okay. First big outburst, T. LeBron defeat TK. Yeah, here you go. You this nigga talking about playing with his son and all that other shit. Come on, man. Where the shit at? My bad, y'all, man. This is bullshit right here. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, here goes some shit right here.
For generations, our tribe has acted on our beliefs.
They gonna play the commercials.
Inspire us to give back to.
Ben, how about this? We started this morning talking LeBron. We will end our show talking
This is this morning from off FS1's First Things First show with Nick Wright and Kevin Wiles. Kevin Wiles actually follows me Twitter. Shout out to Kevin Wiles. And Chris Broussard. So yeah, this is from the First Things First show that comes on FS1 every weekday morning.
Was asked before Sunday's All-Star game, what are the credentials, the resume, the moments required to be considered the greatest player of all time? For LeBron, the 2016 Finals comeback is what he thinks catapults him above the rest. Take a listen.
That moment, I was like, I'm the greatest basketball player people have ever seen in all facets. Like, you know, I played a 1 through 5. I can guard 1 through 5. Just like literally like did something that's never been done in the history of the sport. I mean, teams that go down 3-1, was 0 for like 32 in finals history. There's nobody ever coming out of that. And nobody gave us a chance. I just felt like ain't nobody better than me at this. I felt like Jay-Z when he made the blueprint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I felt like.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Now I'm really clear.
Yeah.
Same. We both understood at the exact same time. Nick, he pretty much called himself the GOAT. What was your reaction to that?
Hey.
Yeah, listen, LeBron said this too.
So this is my thing, right? Now, this man says that LeBron James says that being down three games to 1, meaning after 4 games, the Golden State Warriors had won 3 of those 4 games, and the Cleveland Cavaliers had won 1 of those 4 games. So they were down 3-1, and it's the first of 4. The first team that wins 4
years ago. He's now saying it more confidently and more openly now. It's obvious.
The first team that gets to the team that gets to 4 wins first in a series wins that series, right? So he's saying because the fact that it had never been done before in the NBA Finals, that made it, he did some insurmountable comeback that that had never been done before. He's wrong, but he's right. I mean, he's or whatever. He's right, but he's wrong. He's right that it never had happened in the finals, but it had happened in the playoffs before. It had just happened the series before. The Golden State Warriors was just down to the Oklahoma City Thunder 3 games to 1. The series before they got to the finals. And not only that, it had happened a few more times in the playoffs before in league history. So it had happened before. It just hadn't happened before in the finals. But secondly, okay, you was the first team in NBA Finals history to come back from a 3-1 deficit. Dog, that's not better than somebody that never even let a NBA Finals even get to a game 7. like the logic in that thinking, you know what I mean? It don't make no sense. It don't add up. So you saying because you fucked up at first and then had to come back and right your wrongs and make up for your fuck ups, and you ultimately did under very generous circumstances with getting with the NBA suspending Draymond Green, but that's a whole other story anyway. Because you was down 3-1 and almost lost the series and then came back and won, that doesn't make you better than somebody that was so good that they never even allowed it to get to a game 7. I mean, what are we talking about here? What really are we talking? Jordan never allowed for an NBA Finals series to get to a game 7. Never. It always ended in 6 or fewer. So that's not a good argument right there, LeBitch James. Okay? LeBum boy. That's not a good argument, my nigga. Okay? This is part of this is what I'm saying. This man is trying to play with niggas' minds and trick all these motherfuckers that don't know or either was, because I'm old enough to I was a kid at I was a kid at that time. You know what I mean? And I was into sports early. So I remember seeing Michael Jordan play. I seen him throughout his whole prime. I seen him. You know what I'm saying? The only championship that he won that I kind of like really didn't see because I wasn't paying attention just yet was his very first one that they won in 1991. You know what I mean? I was, 8 or 9 years old? You know what I'm saying? So, but basically that year, you know, when I was, 9 or 10, that's when I started playing basketball. So once I started playing basketball, you know what I mean, as a kid and got into sports, then, I started to, to become knowledgeable about the game and stuff like that. Cause now I'm playing basketball and now I'm looking up to, players in the NBA and stuff like that. So I watched Michael Jordan's whole career. I've seen LeBron James' whole career. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no dog in this fight, bro. As far as like, if LeBron James was better than Michael Jordan, I would say it, bro. I don't get no type of pointers for saying that LeBron James or that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James or whatever the situation may be. I don't get no points for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just calling it how I see it. My thing with LeBron James is just the arrogance, bro, and just the unwillingness to just accept that you wasn't better than this man. Now, you may believe it's nothing wrong with him feeling that way or believing that, but once certain things happen in your career that you can't come back from, and Jordan didn't have, a lot of the same failures. I mean, that ship has sailed, bro. There's nothing you can do. So now what the nigga want to do is play 30, 40 fucking years, you know what I mean, and try to get all these fucking longevity numbers. So he can say, look, I got all the numbers. I'm the all-time leading scorer and this and that, blah, blah. Man, Jordan won 6 titles in basically 11 or 12 full seasons with the Bulls. That's all it took. Okay? 6 in basically 12 years, 11 years. LeBron got 4 in 19. And struggled to get them 4 and had to create fucking super teams and all that shit to even get it. He couldn't do it like Jordan. Stay with the he said, fuck it, man. I can't do it. I don't want to say on my own because nobody necessarily really wins a championship in a team sport on their own. But Jordan and players like Jordan and Kobe and LeBron's and Steph Curry, like, and Magic, and like, they're the driving force. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, LeBron, he had to go team up with other all-time great players, like other players that were top 5, top 10 players at the time in the league. You know what I'm saying? To where what Jordan did was, and I don't want to take away from Scottie Pippen. I'm giving credit to Scottie Pippen. He's an all-time great player. But Jordan kind of made Scottie Pippen what he was in a way. I'm not saying that he made him no, Scottie did that. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm giving all of Scottie's success just to Jordan. But I mean, come on, bro. If we being, if we keeping it all the way 100, okay, Jordan brought up the level of play of players like Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong, John Paxson. He raised their level of play to get them to be, where he was. Not like that, where he was, like the same caliber of the same level, the same caliber of player, but just to raise their level of play, because he needed them to win. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have to go jump teams and say, hey, Magic, I'm going to come play with you, or come play with me, or hey, Larry Bird, I'm going to play, or Patrick Ewing, or Charles Barkley, or Karl Malone, or Reggie Miller. He didn't have to do that, or Shaq, come play. He didn't have to do that. He said, nah, I'm going to do it right here. You know what I'm saying? We got to go through the bad boy Pistons. Once they finally got through them, hey, you seen what happened. And I never knocked LeBron for going to go team up with the Heat, and Dwayne Wade, and learning how to win and stuff like that, because Dwayne Wade had already won and forming super teams. I never knocked him for that. But, bro, don't do some shit like that and clear the path and make it so easy for yourself. You want all of the good players on your team to make it so that nobody else has a chance to win, and then say you better than Michael Jordan, and you still don't win all of the fucking championships. Like, you got all of these stacked motherfucking teams. They call them the Heatles, meaning the Beatles, like the equivalent to the Beatles. We all know what the Beatles are known as, the damn near like the greatest rock group of all time and shit. And so that's what so the Miami Heat, they called them the Heatles. That's just to give you an example of the equivalency that they were trying to, they was trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, they, trying to say like this Miami Heat team is equivalent to, a version of the Beatles. You know what I mean? Type shit. And you still didn't dominate, my nigga. Other teams, were still winning championships. Jordan didn't let nobody get nothing. But I'm gonna get, once he start winning, but I'm gonna get into all that. But that's my first point, is that because you came back from being down 3-1, which means you almost lost, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you, and then on top of that, that was your third. So like, you, at that time, you 3 full championships underneath this nigga. You know what I mean? All of this shit, all of the years this nigga done played, all of the shit this nigga done did and all that, his accolades still don't match up to Michael Jordan's. So if you guys look at that, look at how long LeBron James has been playing, all of the shit he done did, and all of the, the moments and all of the shit, and it still doesn't equal up to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did all that shit he did in far less time. Far less. In an NBA that I would consider to be a little bit tougher, a little bit more difficult, a little bit, I mean, it's still difficult. I'm not saying it's difficult right now, but I'm saying that it's a little bit more tougher as far as the physicality, and all that, man. So it was just, man, this shit is crazy, bro. So no, being down 3-1 and coming back, that's not better than a player that won 6 championships and didn't let not one of them get to a 7th game to where it's a winner take all. He never even allowed it. He said, "I'm not even letting it get that far." You know what I'm saying? I'm finna kill these niggas in 5 or 6 games. So how does that make sense? No, beating the 2016 Warriors don't make you the GOAT. Okay, they got the best, and the Warriors is my team. I'm from the Bay. That's my team. Okay, a Warriors fan my whole life. They have the best single season record. Okay, 73-9. The 96 Bulls was 72-10. But that 73-9 2016 Warriors team was not better than the 72-10 Bulls team. And I'm a Warriors fan saying this. They were not. They were not. I'm sorry. They weren't. So one of the greatest teams of all time, yeah. And if they would have got that championship, then, a lot of people would probably be saying that. But I would still be saying that team, that 72-10 Bulls team, you know, was the best team of all time. So that's my first point.
Obviously correct. And here's the thing that I find so interesting about this moment is it is
This
very
bum
rare
ass
that I feel like you are inside a moment, but also
look at this weasel ass scoundrel of a motherfucking pea brain, pea body looking ass nigga. This is what you call a LeBron James dick sucker. He done built a swing set on LeBron James nuts, and he's swinging on that motherfucker every day. You know what I'm saying? He built a swing set on them on that nigga nuts. Stupid motherfucker.
have the perspective of how history is going to view it.
They just released their top 75.
I'm gonna invent a player here.
Idolizing Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Look, I think that's fair. So a few things. Number one.
Now this guy right here, I tweeted at him. This is Kevin Wild. Shout out Kevin Wild. I tweeted at him a few months back, and he seen the tweet, and he thought it was funny because I thought he was funny and some shit that he said, and he followed me, and he's been following me ever since on Twitter. So shout out to Kevin Wilds. You know what I'm saying? He retweeted my tweet, so he gave me some love. But yeah, he about to break it down for you too.
And all the counting stats are going to go to LeBron because he didn't go to North Carolina. Like, we have to take Jordan's national championship and throw it in the garbage. And Jordan also retired to play baseball and came back, and then retired again and then came back. So his career is a little bit more not standard as LeBron's is. But here's my biggest thing. I'm gonna invent a
So what he's saying right there, he basically saying that, you know, because LeBron James came straight from high school, okay, that's going to automatically give him a leg up on a player like Michael Jordan, who played in college for 3 years. For 3 years. So LeBron James got a 3-year head start on this nigga. You know what I'm saying? As far as when it comes to career stats and all that other shit. So yeah. And the crazy thing is, Michael Jordan, all the way up until, you know, Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, you know, who both came out of straight out of high school. So you know, both of those players at some point in their career were the youngest to ever do this and the youngest to ever do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they were so great, so young. But even with Michael Jordan going to college for 3 years, he still he still had over 30,000 career points. There was only at a certain point there was only 4 or 5 players to have ever scored 30,000 points or more. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was all-time scoring leader, Karl Malone, who's second, and then then it was Michael Jordan, and then now it's and then Kobe got in there, and LeBron got in there, and Dirk Nowitzki got in there. But Dirk, LeBron, and Kobe is all 19, 20, 21 years played or more. Jordan played like 13 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Did all of that shit in 13, 14 years and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Put that shit in a perspective. All of the shit that he done in his career, you know what I'm saying? In that little amount of time. So basically what he's saying is, you know, y'all niggas want to just say, oh, you know, because Jordan wasn't chopped liver in college. He did win a national championship. He won a national championship. So, and it's just at that time, players wasn't coming out of high school, straight out of high school. It just wasn't. That shit didn't get popping until Kevin Garnett did it in 1995. He wasn't the first person to do it. Okay, he was the second or third. Sean Kemp kind of did it, you know, and then if I'm not mistaken, Daryl Dawkins did it back in the 60s or 70s or some shit like that. But for modern time, you know, Kevin Garnett made that popular. He did it in 95. Then the next year, Kobe came, 96, and then from there it just snowballed. So players in the 80s and all that shit, when Jordan was coming, they wasn't coming straight out of high school. That just wasn't that's not what was going on. So he went to college for 3 years, won a national championship, won the Naismith Player of the Year award. That's equivalent to like winning the MVP award in the NBA. And you know, so, but Wild's is saying like, so y'all want to just throw that out the window, just throw that in the trash because it wasn't the NBA, so that don't count. Nah, that shit, no, it don't count as far as the NBA, but it counts as far as, bro, that goes toward his legacy. You know what I'm saying? He won a national championship, and at around the same time that if players was coming out of high school, he would have been a rookie in the league, but he was a freshman in college. You know what I'm saying? Let me get back to Wilds though.
Player here, a guy with 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, a league MVP.
And then he said, not only that, Jordan like retired twice. He retired for 2 years at the height, like at his height, in his prime, nigga. He just walked away because it wasn't no challenge for him no more. Not to mention that he had lost his dad. His dad was murdered. You know what I'm saying? So I know that was weighing on him in his head. People throw in the gambling shit. I throw out the gambling shit. I don't. That to me, that don't. They say, oh, NBA made him go away. Dude, NBA. You think David Stern is gonna tell this nigga Michael Jordan, who's his biggest fucking commodity, his biggest moneymaker? Nah, you need to go away for 2 years because of some fucking bullshit ass. Man, fuck that. Y'all niggas believe anything. NBA ain't told that nigga, you instead of us suspending you, just retire, just go away for a year or 2 years and then come back. Man, please. Y'all niggas be believing all that bullshit, all them conspiracy theories and all that. No. The NBA is a business. It's in the business of making money. They not finna. That's like the NBA telling Steph Curry or LeBron James right now, nah, go away. You know what I'm saying? And come back in 2 years. You know what I mean? Because that's some fucked up shit that you did that for one, you ain't gonna get in trouble for, you ain't going to jail for, and ain't got nothing to do with the league. You gambling on your own. You know what I'm saying? So like that, you're not breaking wasn't breaking no rules, breaking no laws. You know what I mean? Or betting on his own team or doing, like what Pete Rose did. And all, I mean, like, I don't think Pete Rose bet on his own team, but he was betting, you know what I mean, while he was a manager and shit. So you can't do that. But yeah, man. So no, I never believed that whole notion of the NBA told LeBron told Michael Jordan who's the best basketball player in the world, who revolutionized the game, who brought all of this fanfare and all of this hype to the game, helped make the game a global game, a global sport. And you think the motherfucking the NBA gonna tell him to go away? Get the fuck out of here, man. Like I said, would the NBA tell LeBron James to go away right now? Would they tell Kevin Durant to go away right now? Would they tell Steph Curry to go away right now? Giannis? No. But I won't even go that far. I just keep it to Steph Curry and LeBron James because those are like the two those are the two big draws for the NBA right now. Not to say that they're the only draw, but those are the two players that push the needle for the NBA. Like what Michael Jordan was doing. Yeah, you got other great players, but Steph Curry and LeBron James, you can go 1A, 1B, who's the face of the league. You know what I'm saying? You take a pick. It don't matter. But that's what Michael Jordan was. But just him by himself. It wasn't no 1A, 1B, it wasn't no 1A, 1B shit. It was just him. So, yeah. So he also saying that like Michael Jordan, he retired in the middle of his career, bro. You know what I mean? And came back and won more championships. So his career is like he different, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got so easy for him that he walked away from the shit. These niggas now, LeBron, these niggas is chasing that shit so hard and doing everything they can and trading players and getting players released and getting coaches fired and switching teams and bouncing all around the league and doing interviews and calling themselves the GOAT, and they got to do all this shit. All these motherfucking antics. Why? Just because they want to try to get to where Michael Jordan is at. Michael Jordan had to do all that. He just was him. He just did him. You know what I'm saying? He just bust niggas' ass, man. He had to do all that shit. You niggas want that shit so bad, man. And Michael Jordan was born to be what he is. And I always say, it's okay with being the second, third, fourth, fifth best NBA player of all time. What's wrong with that? It's no shame in being the second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh best player of all time. There's no shame in that. The top spot is taken, brother. If there comes a player along that's better than Michael Jordan and he achieves more, believe you me, I will say it. Since Michael Jordan, I have not seen nobody that has been able to match him. It's been ones that didn't got close. Kobe probably was the closest. You know what I'm saying? But not quite MJ, though. Close, though. Really close.
3 all-defense teams, 1 defensive player of the year, and 9 scores. Not standard as LeBron's is. But here's my biggest thing. Now I'm gonna invent a Broussard, a guy with 2 championships, 2 final MVPs, a league MVP, 3 all-defense teams, 1 defensive player of the year, and 9 scoring titles. Do you think that player is one of the best players of all time? Definitely a Hall of Famer if you had that resume. That's the difference between LeBron and Michael Jordan. Jordan is not, it's like, oh, it's close. It's not. It's a full Hall of Fame career better. So he's still chasing in the counting numbers you can give me, but all those accolades are a full Hall of Fame player better. So I think LeBron, I like that LeBron is giving us a lot of content. He's rolled this take out and it kind of went away, and so he's rebirthed it. I don't necessarily give him a ton of credit for being down in a 3-1 hole, considering that Michael Jordan never even went to a Game 7. So, no, I still don't think it's a valid – I still think he's 2. I still think he's a fantastic basketball player. But he's number 2, and it's not close to. It's a full Hall of Fame player's career way.
I don't even got him at number 2. You know what I mean? But, hey, that's just me. Because they like it's the reason why I don't have like all of the players that I have ahead of LeBron James. They went through the trenches to get theirs, man. They went through the trench, and it's like what LeBron did was he went through the trenches and he couldn't get out the trenches, so he just said, "Fuck it, I can't do it that way. I gotta go team up with some niggas." That's fine. Go team up with some niggas, man. It's about winning championships. I have no problem with you going to go team up. But don't then go make it like you did something greater than a player that was drafted to a franchise and took that franchise from the doldrums, from straight piss and shit, and took their ass to the mountaintop. LeBron James never did that. Never. He's never done that in his career. Okay, he had to go join it. He couldn't do it in Cleveland. Was there for 7 years, couldn't do it. Hey, he had to go to Miami. That shit in Miami wasn't from ground up. That wasn't from ground up. That was, he teamed up with, D Wade and Chris Bosh. D Wade had already won a championship. Miami Heat had already won a championship a few years earlier. So that wasn't from ground up. You know what I mean? So
And Wilds, you said 2, and I say 2 as well. Most people say 2. ESPN did their poll recently within the last couple years, and 70 to 80% of the people had Jordan ahead of LeBron. The Athletic just released their top 75 players in order. Jordan was 1, LeBron was 2. Nick, you started out talking about Wilds and I are insecure about this. I think LeBron's showing insecurity.
Period. Because why you continuing to talk about it? Why you continuing to talk about it, bro? What other great player of LeBron James's caliber always is just trying to do shit to prove, like, and tell you that he the GOAT, and not just let the people, figure it out for themselves? Like LeBron James, it don't matter how many times you say it, you not gonna convince me that you better than Michael Jordan. It's over. Once you had that flame out in Dallas in 2011 against fucking JJ Barea. I know Dirk Nowitzki, one of the greatest of all time. Nigga, you had D Wade, and Chris Bosh. No, y'all wasn't supposed to lose that. I'm sorry. It was just him. Okay, now he had an old Jason Kidd. He had JJ Barea, Jason Terry, fucking Deshaun Stevenson, Tyson Chandler. Nah, bro. No. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Michael Jordan ain't losing to that team. With the roster y'all had, Michael Jordan wasn't losing to that team with any one of the championship teams that he won a championship with. Pick one, whichever one you want. 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, and 98. Which one? Which one? Ain't none of them teams losing to the fucking Dallas Mavericks. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And the Miami Heat shouldn't have lost to them. They lost because, for whatever reason, that moment, that spotlight got too big for LeBron James. I don't know how. He had already played in one finals before, got swept by the Spurs. He had been in big games before. So it wasn't like that was his first time. But I think with all the hoopla about, not 5, not 6, not 7, and all that shit that he did at the beginning of the year, and now was the moment of truth was there, and he crumbled, bro. He literally crumbled in that moment. Okay? Once you did that, bro, you can't be better than Michael Jordan. For one, Michael Jordan is 6-0. At that point, when you lost, you was 0-2. In your second finals loss, you lost with a super team. Like, come on, man. And lost really because of you. Dwayne Wade was on the court telling you, like, bro, what's up? Snap out of it. We got to get going, bro. And you wilted, bro. They snatched your heart, man. They punked you, man. You feel me? What Skip Bayless say? The chosen one became the frozen one. And that's just real talk, bro. Jordan never had one of those moments. Kobe never even had one of those moments. That's why you know, to me, you're not even better than Kobe. Not to mention you still ain't got more rings than Kobe. Okay? So yeah, man. Nah. Once you had that moment right there, you can't be better than Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Really, once you lost the finals, you can't be better than Michael Jordan because he never lost one. But especially crumbling under the bright lights like that. In 4 consecutive fourth quarters, you don't do shit. Like it was just like the moment was just too big for him or something. You know what I'm saying? And that never happened to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? To where to inferior talent. Like I said, the Dallas Mavericks was not supposed to win that series in 2011. They just wasn't. And you let that happen. You know what I'm saying? All because you got, I don't know, you got scared. Like I said, the moment was too big. I don't know. But that never happened to Jordan and Kobe. Never.
Because he keeps talking about it. Like you said, he said, Nick, you started out talking about Wiles and I are insecure about this. I think LeBron's showing insecurity because he keeps talking about it. Like you said, he said it to Maverick and Rich and all those guys on one of their shows a couple years ago. Now he says it to Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith sitting there thinking, I barely got you in my top 5. All right, that's really, because that's true. That's what Kenny had said. And which I think is ridiculous because he's clearly in the top 5. But LeBron keeps bringing it up.
That's not ridiculous. That's
Let
his opinion.
other people talk about it. If you that guy, you don't have to keep telling us. I get it. Muhammad Ali used to always tell us he's the greatest. But Muhammad Ali, that was part of his shtick. He did it with humor. And he did it. The way we know it was shtick was because he started doing it when there was no evidence whatsoever. Before he even beat Sonny Liston, he was saying he was the greatest ever. All right, so that was part of his whole marketing. All right, LeBron is saying it seriously because he's out there looking at, man, everybody got Jordan ahead of me. Like, I'm putting this out there, and I'm going to give my logic. 3-1 down. Who came back from that? Okay, that logic. Steph Curry could say, I was the only unanimous MVP. Jordan, LeBron, Wilt, Kareem, none of them unanimous. I did something nobody else did. Yeah. You can't know that argument doesn't hold water. I'm not going to sit here and say the boxer that got up off being knocked down, came back and won the fight, is better than the one who the guy didn't even touch and dominated the fight. Jordan, Nick, you like to relegate it to 6 rings. It's not just 6 rings. That's part of it. Because remember when LeBron was in the East and Toronto and Boston would shiver in his sight? Oh, they won 57 games. Oh, we can't beat LeBron, right? Yeah. He did that to the East. Michael Jordan did that to the entire
Craig Elo and to Patrick Ewing.
The entire, stop it. Don't belittle that era. Because nobody ate. Once Jordan took over, no one ate. Barkley, Ewing.
Yes, sir.
Gary Payton, Stockton and Malone, Elijah Wan, right. Ewing, Shaq. Well, none of them could have anything.
Elijah Wan won a title in a year Jordan played.
That's always been one of my other points too. Like all of the points that these niggas be saying, bro, on TV. I've been saying this shit for years, bro. I've been saying all of this. Like, and it's because that's the reason why, like, for motherfuckers like me that actually know what the fuck going on, it's like I said, bro, I've seen Michael Jordan. I'm not I'm not so young to where a lot of these youngsters didn't see Michael Jordan play. So I do understand it from a standpoint. If you've never seen it, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. But I see Michael Jordan and LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like the whole thing about it is, bro. And then once I started paying attention to sports, to basketball, once I started playing basketball, Michael Jordan and the Bulls is who was running it. So I came into the sports world feeling like that's some normal shit. Like, because the first time when I started paying attention to basketball, Michael Jordan was at the top. You know what I mean? In 91, 92, 93, he was already there. So to me as a kid, You know what I mean? 10, 9, 10, 11 years old. I'm like, I'm thinking this is just some normal shit. This is how you supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I got that level of standard. You know what I'm saying? So I seen Michael Jordan prevent all the other great players of his era from winning championships. Once he got to the mountaintop, nobody else ate, bro. Nobody else was eating. And they said, oh, well, he was playing again. Like they tried to denigrate his I'm saying nowadays people try to, motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck they talking about, they try to denigrate his competition, talk about he played against the Trailblazers and the Phoenix Suns and bro, Charles Barkley, the year that they beat the Suns, was the fucking MVP of the league. Charles Barkley was a fucking beast, my nigga. Okay, y'all niggas think that these players wasn't shit. Why? Because they don't have championships. Michael Jordan prevented them from having championships. That's why. Patrick Ewing, he's an all-time great player. Charles Barkley, John Stockton, Karl Malone, all of these players, Reggie Miller, all of these players that are on the all-75 list that don't got no rings. Michael Jordan prevented it. He was too good. He wasn't letting nobody else eat on his watch. Hakeem Olajuwon, who's probably my favorite center of all time, in the Houston Rockets, I'm sorry to say, they got them rings because that man retired, bro. It's just what it is. That man went to go play baseball. He went to go play a whole nother fucking sport, bro. Like that's wild, bro. Imagine LeBron James or Kobe Bryant in his prime, or Steph Curry right now, just saying, you know what? I'm done with basketball, nigga. I'm finna go play fucking I'm finna go play hockey. Or I'm finna go play baseball or some shit. Bruh. And have moderate success at that. Now, was he a major league talent? No. You know what I'm saying? But he started out and sucked. You know what I'm saying? He got history in baseball. Say it was his first love. He started out and sucked, but he worked his way up until being a respectable minor league player. You know what I'm saying? And then what he do? He said, all right, you know what? I got my basketball Jones back. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go back to the NBA. And went back and won 3 more straight championships in a motherfucking row. Come on, man. Stop playing with this, man. It's okay, man. LeBron James is an all-time great player, bro. He's just not better than Michael Jordan. There's nothing wrong with not being better than Michael Jordan, bro. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you look at LeBron James, I mean, everybody winning championships on his watch. I mean, everybody. I mean, teams were just winning championships that, I'm sorry, Michael Jordan, like I said, he would not have lost to the motherfucking 2011 Dallas Mavericks. He wouldn't have, bro. That shit wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have lost to the 2015 Warriors when they won that championship. That first championship that the Warriors won in 2015, before KD, when they were still learning how to win, when the same team that the year before got bounced in the first round by the Clippers in a game 7. That team that the very next year came and won the championship and beat LeBron James and doing it, the quote unquote GOAT. No, the Warriors didn't come into that year as the juggernaut super team Warriors. Nobody thought they was going to win a championship that year. I'm a Warriors fan, and I didn't even think. I knew we had a good team. Championship, man, please. Wasn't nobody thinking about no Warriors winning no motherfucking championship, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we got into the season and we was having a good season, that was Steph Curry's first MVP year. They won like 65 games that year, 67 games or some shit like that. But even when it got to the playoffs, yeah, they swept the Pelicans that first round, okay? But it was still, even though they swept them, it was still like a close series. The second round, they got down to the Memphis Grizzlies 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, man, here you go. Second round, man, they down 2-1. The Grizzlies finna get them. And then they won 3 in a row. And in that third round, who they played? They played the Houston Rockets when they had Dwight Howard And they won that series pretty convincingly. But then in the finals against LeBron James, who like I said, the Warriors had not won a championship yet. They were learning how to win. LeBron James had came from the Miami Heat where he won 2 championships. So he already had won. We wasn't expected to win, and we beat them. So, but Michael Jordan wouldn't have lost to that Warriors team. Nope, he sure wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? It's just so you got Steph Curry, got championships on LeBron watch. Little old Steph Curry. Little old tiny Steph Curry. Steph Curry, you got Kevin Durant, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what I'm saying? You got who the fuck else? Shit, the Spurs. You know what I mean? You got Tim Duncan and them. They, you know what I mean? They beat the Heat. I mean, so I'm just saying, like all of the players that have won championships while LeBron has been at the top, those players, let's say Steph Curry and KD and Kawhi Leonard, and like those players would be equivalent to Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, John Stockton, and Karl Malone if they didn't have championships. If LeBron was so-called Jordan, that's what it would be. But no, because they were able to win championships while LeBron is so-called at the top, you know what I'm saying, and one of them niggas, now they Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, and you know what I'm saying, like, so like I said, man, it's nothing. It's Dirk Nowitzki, you know what I'm saying? Dirk, hey, I mean, it's all type of niggas winning championships off you, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's all type of niggas winning championships off you, bro. They wasn't getting no chips off MJ, bro. So that's a whole nother art. Like, all they want to do with LeBron is talk about stats and numbers. Bro, his numbers is going to be better. His overall number going to be better because, nigga, that's the one thing he got over Michael Jordan. Longevity. He playing long than a motherfucker. This nigga trying to play 25, 30 years so he can get all the numbers and blow all the, so he could, like I said, trick niggas into thinking that man, you can have all the motherfucking numbers that you want. When we talking about the GOAT, we talking about at your peak. You know what I mean? What were you at your peak, at your height? You know what I'm saying? Even right now, they talk about he's still playing as one of the best players in the league and all that shit right now. How are the Lakers this bad then? How they this bad? How they this bad, bro? They 4-5 games under 500, losing to bad teams, bro. Religiously, regularly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, why he can't, you know what I mean? Why he can't, I mean, it ain't like they got trash over there. I mean, you're supposed to have AD. I mean, you wanted AD. It's not nobody else's fault that nigga, can't, that nigga is frazzled in a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? You got AD. You got Kane Westbrook. You got Melo. You got Malik Monk. You got Dwight Howard. You had Rajon Rondo. I mean, fucking damn, nigga. You can't do nothing with that. I mean, you the GOAT. So that's all I'm saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Them great, all them great. They, all them players that Clyde Drexler, all them players that y'all say, he was playing against blah, blah. He was playing against blah, blah. The Supersonics and bro, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, nigga, them niggas, bruh. in that era, at that time, what is you niggas talking about, bro? You niggas, please. Nigga, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, bro, and in Seattle Supersonic, nigga had Deadlift Shrimp, Hersey Hawkins, nigga. They had a squad over there, nigga. They had a squad, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the Utah Jazz. Bro, the Utah Jazz at that time, bro, is equivalent to like what the fucking Phoenix Suns is this year. That's what they was. That was the Utah Jazz at that time. They was what the Phoenix Suns is right now with Chris Paul. That's what the Utah Jazz was. You know what I'm saying? And they had Karl Malone and John Stockton, bro. The pick and roll, you know what I'm saying? They had that shit going. You feel me? Jerry Sloan, like Michael Jordan prevented these people from winning championships, bro. He said, you ain't gonna be able to win shit as long as I'm in this motherfucker. Now, once I retire and I go away, okay, then you can get you some shit. But while I'm here, and I done got to the top, I done got through these bad boy Pistons, and I done been through the trenches, nigga, and I know how to get to this motherfucking championship, nigga. Man, you niggas ain't getting nothing off me. Fuck you talking about, nigga?
Yes, but okay, but we can play that game both ways.
All these guys are winning under LeBron's watch.
That's fine. But you can but here's the thing.
So watch
and this is why I'm gonna say something incredibly arrogant. This is why
I got a couple
they didn't win another playoff series for 10 years because they've been to 3 straight finals. They won 2 championships. They were
more than longevity. Hank Aaron is not viewed as a better home run hitter than Babe.
So that's that one, right? Bam. Now, I was watching some other shit earlier, man. What's the next one that I wanted to fuck with? You feel me? Let me see here. I'll go to this one since it's right here. This one right here.
I'm Bob Parsons, founder and CEO of PXG. I went nuts and slashed prices on everything. Go to PXG.com.
When LeBron spoke, it was his town, obviously his franchise, the Cleveland Cavaliers, overall his franchise. He's obviously a Laker right now. But his homecoming, and LeBron spoke with Kenny Smith before All-Star weekend, or certainly at least before the All-Star game. And he reiterated that he believes he's the greatest player to ever put on sneakers. Here he is.
At that moment, I was like, I'm the greatest basketball player people have ever seen in all facets. Like, I could play the 1 through 5. I can guard 1 through 5. Just like did something that's never been done in the history of sport. I mean, teams that go down 3-1 was 0 for like 32 in finals history. There was nobody ever coming out of that. And nobody gave us a chance. I just felt like ain't nobody better than me at this.
All right, Rob, I know you want to tackle this. So
I just feel bad for him. I do. And I understand it. You can feel good about your accomplishments and what you've done. For you to go out front and tell people that you're the greatest whoever did something or whatever, that's just not your place. That's just me. I don't believe that's
and this is Rob Parker speaking. This is from the show The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. And I'm not no big Rob Parker fan at all. You know what I'm saying? He hate on a lot of players that I fuck with. But at the same time, I learned this, that I don't have to, just because I disagree with most of what somebody might say, that don't mean that I'm going to act like I disagree when they say something that I do agree with. So, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Rob Parker, he be saying a lot of felonious ass shit that I just be like, bro, why is this man? But I mean, Rob Parker, I'm just saying as far as like his commentary and shit like that, I feel like he say some stupid shit. But Rob Parker is extremely accomplished, and man, he just as far as like, you know what I mean, just where he at in his level, and he's a college professor and all that type of shit. So, but right here, I believe he's spot on. You know what I mean? I feel bad for LeBron too, because it's like you got to just keep You just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing this narrative that, you know, that you the greatest. Michael Jordan never came out. Michael Jordan, not only has he never called himself the GOAT or the greatest of all time, he always goes as far as saying that to him, he could never consider himself that, because he believes that that's disrespectful to the players that have came before him and paved the way. Not that he doesn't, believe in himself or feel like he's a great player or anything like that, but just from the perspective of like, this thing go through eras, man. This thing go through eras. So, one thing we can do is give credit to, the great players from every era. But once you start trying to compare, Oscar Robertson to LeBron James, or, Steph Curry to Pistol Pete and all of those, I mean, it's just two different games, bro. Willis Reed to Tim Duncan, or it's like, to cross over eras like that and try to say, well, this person is better, this person, you know what I mean? That's Jordan's take on it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't have a problem with LeBron feeling like he's the greatest of all time. I totally don't. Even though, he's not. But I don't have a problem with him feeling that way. But you trying to mislead the people, bruh. You trying to trick motherfuckers into thinking that you like, and all the real see right through it. That's why these niggas is saying what they saying. Like niggas see right through it, bro. It's nothing against LeBron James, bro. Like I said, if he ain't had all the fucking nigga, you got more finals losses than finals wins, and you talking about you the GOAT? This man is 6-0. You done lost 6. Fuck out of here, bro.
That's where you should be. It just sounds weird to me, and it doesn't make any sense to me from this standpoint that it was just 2 years ago after he won the bubble championship, he was asking people, I want my damn respect. So what are you asking for? Like you want your respect from your peers and other people who don't even believe you're of any of the stuff. So you even acknowledge that people don't look at you that way. That's why you're asking for people to respect you. We've had, it's not just current players who are jealous of his success and all the stuff that's happened to him, right? Because,
nigga, why you need your respect if you the GOAT? If you the GOAT, you already got your respect. So why after your little Mickey Mouse championship in the bubble, was you after that you talking about I want my damn respect? You the GOAT though. You don't hear Michael Jordan out here telling motherfuckers, man, you know what I'm saying? Give me my respect, bro. For real, man. I won 6 championships. I done all, man. These niggas, man. Come on, man. Give me my respect. Come on, man.
Chris, we know this when you have a horse in the race.
Look, LeBron James know he not the GOAT, bro. He know it. He may feel deep down inside that he's the best player of all time or whatever. He may truly feel that way, but he knows deep down also that the failures that he has had in his career, that he will not be able to surpass, Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. So that's the reason why he, like I said, he got to try to keep playing, and he want to get he want to get Kareem's record. He want to get the total points record, and have all of these longevity stats, because that's the only thing that he, I mean, bro, at this point, LeBron, you already an all-time great player, bro. You know what I'm saying? You already, you top 10 in my book. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that top 10. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll give y'all my rankings and shit in a minute, but to me, LeBron James somewhere in that top 10. You know, and I'm on some real shit. For me, it's probably like 6 to 10. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, bro. Y'all niggas can say whatever the fuck. Man, this nigga, I can't even listen to this nigga, man. Man, fuck that. Anybody that put LeBron James, anybody that don't go LeBron James, at least number 2, don't know basketball. And this and that. And blah, 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 blah. Nigga, you niggas ain't gonna tell me. I know every motherfucking thing about basketball, nigga. That's my opinion off of what I see. I like players with that motherfucking that don't crumble under the pressure, man. That ain't scared to go to the line. That you know what I mean. That's gonna take the last shot and ain't gonna be talking about I'm gonna make the right play and pass. Okay, yeah. Jordan did that. I mean, I'm not saying that making a little, but I'm saying Kobe wanted it. Jordan wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady, he wanted. You know what I'm saying? You trying to manufacture championships, bro. And piece the shit together and, like I said, trick motherfuckers into thinking that you this and you that. When you great, but you're not better than Michael Jordan. You're just not. You know what I'm saying? So, and to me, you're not better than, you ain't better than Magic. You ain't past Magic. You ain't past Kobe. You ain't past Kareem to me. So that's 3 after Michael Jordan. So for me, you can't be nothing higher than 5. And in my opinion, me, B-Jada Snax. This is my opinion, so I don't give a fuck what you think. I would even take Larry Bird. I'm taking Larry Bird over LeBron James. I don't give a fuck, nigga, what you niggas think, nigga. Go back and do all you young punks, go back and do your research on Larry Bird. You better go back and do your research on the Boston Celtics in the 80s. Yeah. You better go back and do your motherfucking research. Larry Bird was a bad motherfucking boy. Okay? A lot of y'all want to call LeBron James the best small forward of all time. Okay, whatever. If that's what y'all want to do. But for y'all, Larry Bird was that before him. For me, he still is. So as I just said that, and as I just said that means LeBron James can't be no higher than 6. He can't be no higher than 6 on my list. You know what I mean? Because I'm already saying Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Kareem, and Bird. I'm taking all of them before him. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And on some real shit, I could make a case for Shaq. I wish you motherfuckers would say something, nigga, about motherfucking Shaq. Nigga, the most dominant motherfucker we ever had in this motherfucker, nigga, out of him and Will Chamberlain. But nigga, I didn't see Will Chamberlain. I know about what I ain't had to see Will Chamberlain. That man numbers is still, so I don't even want to say that because that just sounds stupid. I ain't even got to see what the fuck Will Chamberlain did. At the same time, they did say that there was something about Will Chamberlain when it came to Bill Russell was winning them championships though. You know what I'm saying? Will, you was getting all them damn stats, but Bill Russell was winning them championships. It's like Tom Brady to Peyton Manning. Tom Brady was like Bill Russell. He was winning all them championships. But Will Chamberlain was like Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was getting all the stats, but wasn't winning as many championships. Got 1 or 2, you know what I'm saying, but didn't win as many. But yeah, man, I can go all day with this. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James, you done fucked up, boy. Should have kept your mouth closed, boy.
Jealousy and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times you can't get, me and you talk about it all the time. That's why they can't vote for each other, because there's a bias there. It just is. Okay.
Right.
And he not only gets it from the players that are currently play, he gets it from the past stars who have taken issue with his track. Has he accomplished a lot? Unbelievably, yes. I've said that for all the criticism I give him, Chris, I've said he's the second best player.
Right.
So you could say I'm a LeBron hater. I don't have him 5th or 10th on my list like Charles Barkley or Kenny Smith at one point, and Paul Pierce and all these other people didn't even have him, Chris, in the top 10, which is outrageous when you talk about his numbers. And
fuck his numbers, nigga. I don't give a fuck about them numbers. They going off of
the wheel.
You talking about they said that, nigga, because they going off of these is NBA players that play the game, that know the game, that know when they see a motherfucker that got that dog, man. LeBron had to learn to have that dog, man. He had to learn that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just come in the league with that. He came in the league with extraordinary God-given ability and talent and physique. That's what he came in the league with. You know what I'm saying? But that dog, that motherfucking dog, he ain't had that. He had to learn that.
And all the other accomplishments. So I'm not in that camp.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I like. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. I don't want the motherfucker that want to be your friend and all you want. Nah, I'm trying to win, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be over there doing all that shit, snapping pictures on the, you know what I mean? All these antics and shit. Then when it's winning time, you feel me? We getting put out the motherfucking playoffs by Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic with Hito Turkoglu and Jameer Nelson and Rayford Austin. Fuck out of here.
When I look at him, but I do not believe he's better than Michael Jordan. I don't believe he's the best player ever. He's damn good. He's great at filling stats and putting up numbers and all that, which is all great. And he's won and he's done a lot of stuff. But when I look at those two, there's no doubt if I was picking a player that I wanted to start my team with and win a championship with and take the last shot, it's going to be Michael Jordan. And that's what I look at, not how many scoring a basket with your team down 18 points in the last 2 seconds to make sure you get 30 points. You know, like that.
People think you're a hater.
Right.
And Rob, you know, to say if you don't think LeBron's the GOAT, just finished it up within the past week or two. ESPN just released their order of their top 75. Of the top 75, the official one by the league, ESPN's panel of experts just came out today, I believe. They got LeBron number 2, Jordan number 1. We saw the ESPN poll of fans, many of them young millennials after the last dance. What was it, 70, 80%? LeBron number 2, Jordan number 1.
Yes, like those are the millennials, not the old heads, Chris. These are they're the ones taking the polls on ESPN and all that, not the old heads. So that said a lot about them. And if you remember, Michael swept everything, I think, except for one category. You remember that?
And some of it was even I wouldn't even
like
agree with. But
yeah, one was like passing.
Everybody was giving him.
Yeah.
And I would give that to LeBron. And I just think because of that, Rob, because he
why? Oh, yes, LeBron is a great passer. Great passer. Great passer. I don't give a damn. To me, LeBron James don't do nothing on the basketball court better than Michael Jordan. Nothing. At all. The reason why y'all think that nigga pass so good is because he don't shoot, because he ain't never been that great of a shooter like that. You know what I'm saying? So he had to learn how to be a good fucking passer, nigga, because you can't fucking shoot.
Basically sees virtually everyone is saying he's second to Jordan, that he feels like he has to come out and say it. And you're right, he should let others say it. There's going to be a lot of young people saying it, I think.
Yes.
As they begin to dominate the narrative, we'll see what happens. But I think that's what it is. And let me quickly throw this out because we're going to throw it out to the callers.
Let's call
now watch this.
Tell us who you think is the GOAT, even if you think it's somebody else. But
And what do you
think LeBron's the GOAT? Why?
And what
why
do you
not?
think of LeBron saying it? Does that
I'm
make
gonna
you
throw out a
cringe,
couple
or you
things
cool with
quickly.
that?
Now watch this.
Here's why I believe Jordan was the GOAT. He was more dominant individually. 10 scoring titles, 3 steals titles. LeBron's got 1 scoring title, 1 assist title. More dominant wise. LeBron spent 11 years in Cleveland, delivered him 1 ring. Jordan spent 11 healthy years in Chicago, delivered him 6 rings. Jordan has 2 of the 3 three-peats in NBA history since the retirement of Bill Russell. So LeBron's got an argument for longevity, Rob, but it also can work against him because
Y'all not understanding. Y'all really not understanding. Now I said that earlier, right? Now, because I heard that part right here. I heard that from him earlier. I didn't even know that. As far as I didn't, I knew it, but I didn't know the exact stat. But I knew that it wasn't a whole bunch of three-peats in the history of the game. I knew that for a fact. You know what I mean? I may be, without thinking about it, I may have thought it may have been like 3 or 4 in the history of the game. But what he just said was, since Bill Russell, there has only been 3 three-peats, meaning only 3 times that teams have won 3 championships in a row for 3 consecutive years. Michael Jordan's Bulls have 2 of the 3. They got the three-peat in 91 through 93, then the three-peat 96 through 98. LeBron ain't never three-peated. Not one time. They went back-to-back with the Miami Heat with a fucking super team, but they also lost 2 finals. Lost the first one, lost the last one. 1-2 in the middle. Barely won the second one. Should have lost that one, but whatever. Jordan not only went back-to-back, that nigga three-peated twice. Back-to-back three-peats, nigga. You talk about you won a championship back-to-back. Nigga, this nigga won back-to-back three-peats. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's just like, it's crazy, man, when you think about that, bro. Get to the mountaintop, win 3 championships, going through a little adversity, going through some little shit with your dad, and have that coincide with the fact that you just won 3 in a row. So you feeling like, well, damn. Took me 7 years to win the motherfucker. Now that I win the motherfucker, I can't lose the motherfucker. So he basically walked away from the game. Walked away. Okay? Went to go play a whole nother sport. Baseball. Something he ain't played since what? What they call it? Since Little League, I believe, or some shit. Maybe high school. You know what I'm saying? I'm not exactly sure, but he was a kid the last time that he played baseball. But went to go play baseball, my nigga. And once baseball went into that street, they love striking. They on a strike right now. Once they went into that strike in 95 or whatever, he said, all right, it's about time for me to go back to basketball anyway. Went back to the NBA and won 3 more in a row with kind of the same core, but a different role players. Really, the core is him and Scottie Pippen. That's the core. Him and Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson as the coach. but everything else had changed. You know what I mean? It went from B.J. Armstrong and John Paxson to Steve Kerr and Randy Brown. You know, went from Horace Grant to Dennis Rodman. That's an upgrade. You know what I mean? Went from you know, then they had Tony Kukoc on that line. So, but man, ain't no Jordan and LeBron is not a debate, bro. It's not. You know what I mean? Unless y'all niggas gonna sit up there and because you think because the nigga got more points than him, more because he scored more overall points in his whole career or whatever. Like, come on, man. And dumb shit like that. Them is longevity stats, brother. That's all that is. That just means he played much longer than him. Because if we really want to do it like that, let's just take LeBron's first 13 years of his career. Let's take his first 13, and that's it. That's it. The last 6 years, throw them out. Then let's see what his stats is. Because that's how long Michael Jordan played. He did all that shit in 13 years. LeBron going into year 20 and shit. After 13 years, LeBron would have had what? 2 championships? I think in his 13th year, if I'm not mistaken, he won his 3rd. So after 13 years, he would have had 3 championships. That's good. That's great, actually, to win 3 championships in 13 years. But Michael Jordan doubled that. He doubled it. Okay? Doublemint twins. He had 6 in 13. So, just stop playing, man. Not to mention, this Eastern Conference that LeBron, like, you had all that talent on that Miami Heat team. In the playoffs, y'all was playing teams like the Charlotte Bobcats, nigga, in the first round when they was like 37-45. And that back when the Atlanta Hawks had Teague and Al Horford and when they was having good regular seasons but wasn't doing a motherfucking thing in the playoffs. Basically looking like the Arizona Cardinals of right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to go about 12-5, you know what I mean, and have a good record, but they ain't going to do shit in the playoffs. Like, LeBron had no real competition like that over there. He wanted all the motherfucking talent on his team. In the Toronto Raptors, when they had Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. At that time, them niggas wasn't ready.
It's like, well, in 18 years, he won 4 rings. And Jordan played 13 healthy seasons and has 6 rings.
Chris, if he plays 3 more years and it's 22 seasons and 4 rings, right. That is not cool. I don't care what anybody says. That's
absolutely. LeBron.
I mean, they just said it, man. You just heard it. LeBron has 4 rings in 19 years. And that last ring, I gotta call it how I see it, man. I'm gonna play another clip. But that Disney shit, I don't count that shit like that. If anything, I give it, you got like 3.5. That's a half a chip.
Jordan denied, once he took over the league, denied a host of Hall of Famers. Barkley, Ewing, Olajuwon, Shaq, David Robinson, on and on, Reggie Miller, Gary Payton. He denied them rings. A lot of people got rings under LeBron's watch.
Everybody
Jordan had literally no weaknesses on the court. There wasn't one thing he couldn't do.
Nothing.
LeBron is nitpicking. Free throw shooting is a weakness. Jordan was a better defender, defensive player of the year.
They don't talk about that though. All you bitch ass niggas on Twitter that's at me and doing all that shit, y'all, what's up? Y'all don't talk about that. The fact that Michael Jordan won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Like, y'all not understanding how big that is, man. A player of his caliber winning a Defensive Player of the Year award. Come on, man. Stop playing. Like, he won a that's the type of award that go to players like Draymond Green and Ben Wallace and Dennis Rodman and you know and players like that. Gritty players. You know, or centers or big men that block a lot of shots, like, you know, Hakeem Olajuwon or you know, or some shit like that. Man, I would say Rudy Gobert, but I mean he's an okay defender. I think he's really he's much overrated. You know what I mean? He's not a bad defender. I'm not gonna say he's trash, but he's overrated as a defender. He's not as good as a defender. Like, he got 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Congratulations to you, my brother, but he should maybe have one. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? So, but those are the type of players that the Defensive Player of the Year award usually go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, players that usually that's their main or one of their main focuses is just defense. Like, Jordan was the pinnacle. He was the offense and like. So I mean, so in basketball, it ain't like football where the offense don't play defense and defense don't play offense. Nah, in basketball, you play both sides. Michael Jordan was as equally a good all-time great defender as he was
a 9-time all defense again in 13 healthy seasons.
All-time great offender. He was just as good on defense as he was on offense. That's what that means. LeBron James ain't never been that, bro. Never. Even the little 3 or 4 years, whatever, in Miami, and a little bit when he played a little defense, he wasn't never on Michael Jordan level. Come on, man. Stop playing, bro. LeBron James don't play no motherfucking defense like Michael Jordan. He got to conserve his energy on, you know, he can't expand. Man, when I was growing up playing basketball and watching the NBA, I never heard no shit like that. If you out there on the court, you balling, nigga. You giving it all you got. Ain't no conserving, no energy, and all of those. Fuck is you niggas talking about? Wasn't no resting and what they call it? What's the name of it? The name they came up with the shit now for the players that rest. You know, so the shit, what they call it, I forget what they call it, but basically players resting and all that shit. Man, please. Them niggas wasn't doing all that shit, nigga. So That's not an excuse. Like they make so many excuses, and that's another thing with this whole LeBron James thing. It's like I never seen like players make not players, but I never seen just the basketball community or just the sports world in general make so many excuses for why this nigga ain't won as many championships as y'all feel like he should have won. You know what I mean? Like they say, like it's shit like this that I don't that I don't like. It's the reason why a lot of people, you know, have some disdain for LeBron James as a player, not as nothing else, no personal, just as a player. This is all sports shit. They say, yeah, man, that 2007 finals, I don't even count that one, man, because he was by himself with that, and you know, he was going up against the Spurs team with Tony Parker and Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili. Greg Popovich was the coach. So I don't count that one because that was young LeBron when he didn't have nobody. That wasn't fair. What? Nah, we not doing that. We not doing that, bro. We not doing that. So if it don't count as a loss, even though it do, but I'm just speaking in hypothetical, how y'all speaking. If it don't count as a loss for LeBron, then it can't be a win for the Spurs then, because it don't. So I mean, so not, and that's not what we gonna do. That's not what we gonna do. We ain't gonna take away one of the Spurs championships. They won all them. So and not only that, y'all forget for that team to get to that finals, that Cleveland Cavaliers team, who did they have to beat? They had to go through the Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys 2, with Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Larry Brown as the coach. When LeBron had that performance where he scored like 30 consecutive points by himself in the fourth quarter and overtime to win the game and ultimately win the series, you know what I mean? Like the next game. Like that Pistons team wasn't chopped liver. See, when people get to talking all that shit, they forget stuff like that. So they had to get past that team. Like if that Pistons team would have gotten to the finals, they wouldn't have got swept like that Cavs team got swept. But at the same time, that same Pistons team lost to the Cavs. It's just funny. It's funny how that works. But my point being is that you can't all of a sudden. So a team that got all the way to the NBA Finals ain't shit. Nah, bro, you can't. No. You got to go through 3 rounds of basketball before you even get there. And then you have that means you have had to have a somewhat decent season. So that means you've been good the whole year. You can't be good the whole year and all of a sudden get to the finals and because you get swept, then say, "Oh, that was an unfair matchup. I don't count that one." And then they also say, well, "Man, I don't count the one against KD either because you know the Warriors was just too." Not, bro. No. You started the super team shit, nigga. It was your fault. If you would have never did that shit, KD would have never came to the Warriors. That's just facts. It would have never happened. It just wouldn't have. LeBron opened that door. You know what I mean? So you got beat at your own game, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's all that was. But all that's the shit I don't like. All that you know, I ain't counting this finals loss, and I ain't counting that finals loss, and this and that, and blah blah blah, and all the other shit because of the circumstance. Nah, you lost. The loss is a loss. And like I said, if we ain't gonna take away the championship win from the team that won, you can't take away the loss from the niggas that lost. So no, you lost. That shit in 07, that shit count than a motherfucker. It's a loss, nigga. Okay? In 2017 against the Warriors with KD, that's a loss. In 2018, that's a loss. And that's another thing. You supposed to be the GOAT. Nigga, you done been swept twice in the finals. Swept in the finals. Twice. So, and you supposed to be the GOAT, though. I'm just saying, man. So, to me, the argument is not LeBron and Jordan. The argument should be LeBron and Kobe. That's the real argument. Who's better between those two? Like I said, I'm taking Kobe. Kobe is my nigga. So I'm taking Kobe. I ain't mad at you if you want to take LeBron. But I'm going to make my arguments why I would rather take Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, that should be the real debate. It shouldn't even, Michael Jordan shouldn't even be nowhere near. And I mean, y'all need to stop doing that. Like that, I mean, it's dead. LeBron James is not better than Michael Jordan, bro. It's not close.
LeBron 6-time all defense in 18 seasons.
18.
Yeah, 18 so far. LeBron, I think Jordan could fit into a system easier, made it easier for teammates to play with him, particularly stars. And Jordan doesn't have a meltdown moment on the record. LeBron's got Dallas. He's not the only one. Magic had, 83. They call him Tragic Johnson, or 80. Right. 80.
And that's like I said earlier. He was just giving all his list of reasons why he feel like Jordan is better than, like I said, Jordan don't have one of those, like he said, one of those meltdown moments. Jordan ain't got none of them on his resume. Ain't with no meltdown. He may have lost to the Pistons, may have got beaten up by the Pistons, may have lost to the Celtics, in the 80s and all that. But he didn't lose because he crumbled and somebody took his heart and got in his head. You know what I'm saying? That was never the case. He just lost because, they didn't know how to ultimately win as of yet at that point. And the other teams was more experienced, more veteran, and they knew how to win. They just wasn't better, than the Celtics and the Pistons at that time. You know what I'm saying? They had to learn that. A lot of teams gotta go through that, you know what I mean? It's that those one or two teams that they got to get through to get to the promised land. You know what I'm talking about? So, hey, man. There's another one here that I want to play for y'all, man. Where is it at, though? No, I watched it earlier. Bill Mahler. Let me see if I can find this, y'all. Yeah, man, here it is. I'm kicking that game, man. I'm kicking that game, dog.
There's nothing better than striking a drive long, straight, and right down the fairway. That's what PXGs do.
LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. That's right. Now, behind a paywall, The Athletic did a list. Lists are great. Creates controversy.
Notorious Rich Paul, a very controversial lightning rod of a figure around the NBA. So if you didn't see this one, and maybe you did not because you don't pay for The Athletic, so Rich Paul said that
Michael Jordan's paths to greatness were equal. That there's no difference. The quote, "The road for LeBron," this is from Rich Paul, "the road for LeBron was just as hard, if not harder, than the road was for Michael." Quote continued. for a number of reasons. And I think the biggest reason is everyone wants you to do something the way somebody else did it.
Now, this is Ben Mahler from Fox Sports Radio, and this is from the Ben Mahler Show, and this is about Rich Paul, who is, if I'm not mistaken, a childhood friend of LeBron James, who is now his agent and is the head of Clutch Sportz, which is the agency or sporting agency that, started by Rich Paul, and Rich Paul is LeBron's agent, along with countless other NBA players. So I guess Rich Paul came out and, now is talking about how, the path to success for Michael Jordan and LeBron James was similar, if not LeBron James having a tougher path. And this total bullshit. But, what else would you expect Rich Paul to say? This is friend. So, of course, you're going to say some dumb shit like that.
Previously, of course, alluding to the fact that people wanted LeBron to be like Michael Jordan. Quote also finished up with, there were more people, Rich Paul said, that smiled and hoped LeBron failed than there were ever rooting for him to succeed in the beginning, close quote. And Michael Jordan, off-road, thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm going to go first. 2 thumbs down. 2 thumbs down on this
Major
one.
thumbs
I've got
down.
Monopoly, Obstacle Course, and Valedictorian. And we'll combine all of these things together. Now, to tip off the festivities here, LeBron James has been on, I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, correct me if I'm wrong, he has been on Easy Street since he was tagged for greatness playing AAU ball back in the day. And it is my position that anyone with a functioning brain and an IQ above 40 knows this to be true. We also realize that we are reacting to comments made by Rich Paul, who has a major conflict of interest. If this was a courtroom, his testimony would be kicked out. The prosecution will say, hey, wait a minute, this witness has been compromised. Rich Paul, a longtime friend, a business partner. The Rich Paul empire is a product of riding the coattails of LeBron James. He's been on the LeBron gravy train for a long time. Good for him. Yeah, he picked up LeBron as a pal, and LeBron took off, and Rich Paul was right alongside for the ride, saying, hey, let me make my money on your back. And that's exactly what Rich Paul's been able to do. And so when you're a business partner and you're a friend, it does have a way of influencing someone's mother, what they think of their son who's in trouble. Of course, mom's going to defend the son. That's how that works. But LeBron, and I remember this because I was in that world of promoting and gossip and things like that, the next thing in sports. LeBron was a snot-nosed punk when he was labeled a basketball prodigy, a hoops prodigy. And I was doing my gossip website at the time. It was the early days of Fox Sports Radio, so I was working every day of the week. I had the gossip website 5 days a week. Well, I actually did that like 7, but most of it was 5. And then I had the radio stuff on the weekends. And LeBron popped up on my radar. The first time he popped up was over 20 years ago when I started hearing about LeBron. But the first big wow moment was the cover boy of Sports Illustrated. And I remember the headline. And if you're old, you might remember the headline too. It was The Chosen One. LeBron was 17 years old. He was a high school junior. The Chosen One. And that was back when it mattered to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Now it's irrelevant, but back in those days, it was a big deal. And so headline, right? And LeBron, he had become, at 17, he was a Monopoly player. Now, you know what a Monopoly player is. A Monopoly player is pass, go, and collect $200 million. Or in this case, pass, go, skip Duke, skip Kentucky, and go directly.
Check out this verse. Now I'm here, now you're here, and for all that I am right here, I will.
Yeah. A little intermission.
It's so easy to fall in love.
You know, so
Number one pick and keep LeBron in his home region. And while the path was not without speed bumps, because people do have issues with the curse of high expectations, and LeBron was like the Tasmanian devil when he came into the NBA world. Now, compare and contrast that with Michael Jordan. So to continue the story here, MJ, on the other hand, was not considered a low-key genius of basketball at age 17. He had an obstacle course to navigate through before becoming what is now the mythical figure of his era.
So basically what he's trying to do is lay the foundation down that what Rich Paul is doing is he doing a whole bunch of capping. You know what I'm saying? About the path being. He's basically laying down the foundation of saying, check this out. LeBron has been highly touted since 16, 17 years old. So he already kind of like had a path already like etched out for him to greatness. Now, as I say that, don't think I'm saying like he earned it. LeBron James has earned, like because he's a great player. So he has worked for everything that he's got. You know what I'm saying? But still, in the fact that you were a phenom, so to speak, or whatever the fuck. And Michael Jordan wasn't that. Even so much so to where, and he's getting ready to mention it, that Michael Jordan was cut from his JV team or demoted, from varsity to JV or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and went to college for 3 years. Went and played for Dean Smith at the University of North Carolina, UNC, Chapel Hill. But played within a system there. He wasn't the Michael. He didn't become the, you could see it. You know what I mean? From what what certain players and coaches were saying. What's his name? Bobby Knight said that Michael Jordan, after his junior year, going into his rookie year, that summer was the 84 Olympics. And Bob Knight was the coach of the 84 Olympic team. And he said in that summer that Michael Jordan is the best basketball player he has ever seen. This is before he played one game in the NBA, before he was even drafted. Or he may have been drafted already, but before the draft may have just happened or something, I don't know. But this was in the summer. So I think the draft had probably already happened. He had been drafted by the Bulls, but he hadn't played yet. You know what I'm saying? The season hadn't started yet. And Bobby Knight said that summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. This nigga right here, this Michael Jordan kid, I ain't never seen nobody better than him with my own two eyes. And once he got drafted, they said after the first practice, within like 2 weeks of him being there, everybody knew from the from the coaches to the veteran players on the team, everybody knew that he was the best player on the team. 2 weeks into his rookie season. You can go back and watch it on the Last Dance documentary. It's on there. So, but basically, Ben Mahler is laying down the foundation to basically say, Rich Paul, you capping than a motherfucker to say that y'all pass was, because for one, this nigga LeBron was a highly touted phenom from 16, 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, like he said, he already kind of had a monopoly, like already, ready for him when he, as a senior in high school, before he even, if I'm not mistaken, before he got officially got drafted, this nigga had signed a $100 million deal or something like that with Nike, and had bought a Hummer. That was big at that time for a 17-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid buy a Hummer, and that was one of them new Hummers at that time. This was 2003, one of them H2 Hummers. You know what I'm saying? When they came back out popping. So Michael Jordan ain't had none of that, bro. Coming, you know what I mean? He was just a regular player coming into the shit. He had to work his way up to the Michael Jordan that he didn't. Now, I will say this about LeBron. He lived up to it though. I'll give him that whatever they thought he was gonna be, he lived up to that shit. So I give him that. But he still hasn't he lived up to the hype, but he still ain't passed Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Before becoming what is now the mythical figure of his airness. And there is a story LeBron, or not LeBron, but Jordan likes to tell. Jordan loves to tell the story of being cut from his high school basketball team. And it's one of those.
And I've known about that since I was a kid, because my coach and all that, we talked about that a lot. How that was a motivational kind of like thing for my coach Chris to use on us to say, hey, Michael Jordan got cut from his team. You know what I'm saying? So if he can get cut, then not to say that y'all can get, that we can get cut, but it wasn't a motivational. He wasn't trying to motivate us in that way or like scare us like, oh, y'all can be off the team or some shit like that. No, it was to say that this man ended up becoming the greatest basketball player of all time, and he was once cut from a basketball team. So it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. You know what I mean? That's basically the, just because you get a few doors closed in your face, at the beginning, that don't mean you got to keep pushing. You got to, that, you know what I mean? That don't mean to quit. You got to keep going. You know what I mean? And eventually it will be a door that opens, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Stories we bring up, when the legend becomes the fact, you print the legend, right? It's Liberty Valance. And so this is a Liberty Valance situation. Jordan was technically not cut from his high school basketball team. You probably don't realize that if you've not heard the rest of the story, but he was demoted. So in a way, it's a version of the truth. It's not the whole truth. It wasn't like Jordan was kicked off the team. He just was not allowed to play varsity basketball. He was demoted to the junior varsity squad. Because you got to remember, this was a different world. This is in the days before the internet, days before television was really big. Cable television wasn't around. Late 1970s, when Jordan was a high school player. And in those days, you had to pay your dues. You had to pay your dues, right? And Jordan had to pay his dues there. Before he was promoted, they had enough players on the senior team, so Jordan was left to play on the junior varsity. You were not given the bag of diamonds. You had to go out and earn the bag of diamonds, and so Jordan had to sit back and be the greatest JV player of all time. And so he paid his dues, and then eventually we know he catapulted his way to the top of the mountain. But there were more speed bumps. Because at North Carolina, while the Tar Heels were having great success, Michael Jordan was marginalized. he was a system player in college. Now, LeBron never even went to college. He didn't have to worry about any of that rigmarole. And as the famous line goes, and it's a little outdated now because people have moved on from it, but the line for a long time early in Jordan's career when he took off like an Air Force fighter jet, when he took off, Jordan, the line was, and I still remember it because we used to use it all the time, the only man able to stop Michael Jordan was Dean Smith. That's it. Because Dean Smith, who was the coach, his college coach with the Tar Heels, he had Michael Jordan as a system player. He averaged 17 points a game in 3 years in North Carolina. And he was surrounded by like big players in that era who would go on and play in the NBA. James Worthy, Sam Perkins, Brad Daugherty, among others, that would become NBA players. And then, of course, we know he goes to Chicago and he's a supernova, and everyone was like, what the F was that guy Dean Smith doing? And what was going on there at North Carolina? Dean Smith, a legendary figure in college basketball circles. All right, so the last thing here. Let's travel back here to Rich Paul's comments on the pushback LeBron James received. Now, there was another part of the quote we must put under the microscope as we parse the words here. And Rich Paul said there were more people that smiled and hoped LeBron failed than there were rooting for him to succeed in the beginning.
Your golf game improves the minute you put a PXG club in your bag. Imagine what'll happen with a
for him to succeed in the beginning. All right, I'm gonna buzz this. All right, this is what's known as selective omission. LeBron James, here's how I remember. LeBron was the catch of the day. Everyone loves the next big thing. People were excited. They wanted to see him, and some of his high school games I remember were on ESPN, and it was a big deal, and people wanted to see LeBron, see what the hype was all about, right? Would he live up to the buzz? And there was a lot, as I remember, a lot of positive energy about LeBron, and he was the breath of fresh air, and the star, right? The first couple of years he was on the scene, he was the valedictorian of the world of basketball. It wasn't until he went to that Boys and Girls Club in Connecticut with Jim Gray. That is the moment where the powder keg went. The tide turned. And because then after that, LeBron upset a lot of people. They're like, what a douche, the way he did that. And then you mix LeBron becoming a political advocate and not even hiding, not even trying to pretend like he wants everyone to watch him play basketball. No, he was an advocate for the Democratic Party right after that, right around that point. And the floodgates had opened, right? And juxtapose that next to Michael Jordan, whether you like him or not, he was apolitical. And that great line, which was a wonderful line, that Republicans buy sneakers too, and you understand the difference. And maybe you're fine with LeBron. You think it's great that he's political and you agree with his politics and you think it is wonderful, but that is a separating point. And so I will disagree with Rich Paul because I remember it. And I was doing sports radio all of LeBron's career. And I do recall there was this love affair with LeBron early on. And then, as I said, the moment that turned was at a Boys and Girls Club in Connecticut with the decision. That was when it all went. And also, let's also be fair here, that Michael Jordan, at the end of his run in Chicago, and then he came back with the Wizards, there was Michael Jordan fatigue. People were tired of Jordan at the end, that he had been on the scene and dominating, and people were done with him. Like they wanted someone else to be in the spotlight, in the center square. And so we also had that.
I disagree with that. Now, Ben Mahler is a professional sports talker, and a lot of these motherfuckers has been doing this shit for a very long time. And at that time when Jordan was on the Wizards, I will be honest, because it was a few year time period where I wasn't really keeping up with everything that was going on. I always know what's going on in sports, but like how I am is I have a memory of a lot of shit. So if I was really paying attention to something, I would have a memory of it. And the thing with Jordan being on the Wizards, I just don't have a whole bunch of memories in my head of like seeing a whole bunch of those games. I just wasn't interested in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just, at that time, I was just now getting my career started with with my music and shit. So I was just focused on other things, less, other than sports, just watching sports and shit. And so I don't remember a whole bunch about that. But so he may be right as far as, you know what I mean, just a pulse of like what people felt at that time. Because I can't say, I don't know. I wasn't in tune with it at that time. So he may be right about that, but I'm just going on an overall standpoint. I'm coming from an overall standpoint of I never remember a time where people were tired of Michael Jordan. So I don't know. Sometimes the media, they put the 2 on the 10 a little bit.
So there were a lot of things involved in this, but again, just to wrap it up here, Rich Paul dead wrong with his analysis, and he's biased. I expect him to be wrong. Listen, if LeBron paid me millions of dollars over the years and created a business for me where I'm...
And that's all that is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I understand you biased, Rich Paul. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You getting that good from Adele. LeBron got you in the position to where you able to fuck with a bitch like Adele, man. Or Adele, or whatever the fuck her name is. My fault. But, yeah, you know what I mean? So his thing on that was to basically just show how all of these narratives that they try to push about LeBron and all these people that try to keep pushing these narratives and make him like he the GOAT or something, it's all false, man. It's all false. Yeah. Like, look at this comment right here. I don't remember Jordan having to try so hard to convince people he is the greatest. And that's all that's all I'm saying, bro. If you the GOAT, bro, ain't no motherfucking convincing people you got to do. They will tell you. They will say it. They will say it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in the generation now where all these young niggas, all these motherfuckers that say LeBron is the GOAT, is young people. Most of them is younger people, teenagers, kids who, I mean, you ain't even lived long enough to even know nothing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's just, yeah, man. It's just crazy, man. Yeah, man. I mean, LeBron has lived up to the hype and all that shit, but Jordan got it out the mud, dog. He got it straight out the mud, man. You know what I mean? And but yeah, LeBron, you just stepped in it, boy. Talking about you the greatest, but yeah, Jordan ain't never had to try so hard to try to convince people that he's the GOAT. It probably does. It doesn't even probably really matter to him like that, to be honest. It probably really doesn't. I know they was asking Kobe toward the end of his life about that shit. And Kobe was really sincerely like, dog, I don't even care. I've done what I've done. My 20 years of what I laid out there on the hardwood is out there. Y'all can analyze it, do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Wherever y'all rank me, that's where y'all rank me. I don't give a fuck. I know where I rank myself. You know what I'm saying? But y'all can rank me wherever the fuck y'all want to rank me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I put my art out there for y'all, you know what I mean, to judge. Not judge me as a man, but judge my art, you know what I mean, and what I'm displaying on the court. You know what I'm saying? Have at it. I don't give a fuck. And because Jordan and Kobe got that same type attitude. You know what I'm saying? Jordan was just a little bit more like funny with his and just like ruthless. Like, you know what I mean? Kobe was ruthless too. But Kobe's ruthless was like a mad ruthless. Jordan's ruthless is like a nigga, I'm gonna crush you type ruthless, but I'm gonna do it in a way to where it's, I don't know, it's just like Jordan was on some whole other shit, man. And that's another thing. Like, if you as LeBron James, if you got punked by JJ Barea and Deshaun Stevenson and Jason Terry and them niggas, what you think Michael Jordan would have did to you, boy? Like the verbal sparring that he would have gave your ass, boy, you would have been crushed. He would have been all up in your motherfucking head, nigga, because he would have seen that oh, he a little weak up here in the mental. I can get in his head, and he would have just pounced on your motherfucking ass. LeBron James would have had a motherfucking shot with Michael Jordan, bro. Straight up. So, but for me, like I said, the debate should not be about not be between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, Le Dictator. You feel me? It should be about Kobe and LeBron. That's the debate. So I mean, I could go on and on about this situation, and I might do a part 2 tomorrow on this topic. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some other pointers that I might want to get off. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, my laptop battery is going dead. Down. I need to go in the house now and go charge this motherfucking phone. I mean, charge my phone and charge my motherfucking laptop. But yeah, man. When the going gets tough for LeBron James, going straight up. I mean, that's just what it is. Anytime you got to have all the good players on this team, put that shit together, and then all of a sudden, once that shit don't work, then it's the upper management fault. It's the coach fault. It's this and that, and they don't do nothing, and he out. He gonna leave. He going to the next location. And now he talking about he might go back to Cleveland now. You know what I mean? I never put it too far out there. Never say never about going back to Cleveland. Yeah, niggas don't want you. They got a nice, little young core, little nucleus right there that they building. Man, you gonna come in there and fuck that shit up. Cleveland, don't Cavaliers. Don't let that nigga come in there fucking up that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he want to bounce around from here everywhere and act like he the reason why. These niggas is already established some shit. And you want to come in and fuck that shit up. And get a little measly, cheap-ass little ring. Try to. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga's sad, man. You know what I'm saying? Jordan stayed down where he came up with that one team. Like I said, it's not about the fact that LeBron James left and went to another team. I don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? It's your prerogative. You just, you meet the requirements of your contract. You know what I mean? And you live out your contract, or whatever the word is. You fulfill all your obligations to your contract. And if you're a free agent, you want to leave. That's cool. Go team up with whoever the fuck you want to go team up with. But then don't try to make it seem like you did something better than Michael Jordan did. because you got you an easy ass ring because you teamed up with 3 or 4 other top 5 to top 10, top 15 players in the league at that time. You know what I'm saying? Of course you gonna win, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad that you did that you won, but don't try to, okay, you won. Be happy with you won and you got your championships. I'm trying to come and say you better than Michael Jordan. That shit ain't gonna fly. You know what I'm saying? Snax on Sports. I'll be back with part 2. I might do part 2 tomorrow. If I do part 2, you'll see it tomorrow. If I don't do a part 2, hey, y'all enjoy this one. But this topic will come back up again. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be talking about this. You know what I mean? You know, I hate LeBron James as a player, but I love him at the same time because he give me content and give me shit to talk about. You feel me? And he's a good villain for me to root against. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Warriors fan. Steph, off top. But yeah, my shit about to die, man. I'm gonna get at y'all tomorrow, man. Or in the morning now. It's already tomorrow. So part 2 coming up. Maybe. I'll see. Probably so. Snax on Sports. Let's get it. LeBron, fuck you, bitch.